Hello and welcome to Pest Perspectives episode, can't remember, 77, I reckon, or 78, one of the two.
78.
78, let's have a look. Yep, 78.
Coming. Yay.
And this week we have on Martin Cobbold from Dealey Environmental, CEO of Dealey Environmental. How are you doing?
Quite high adrenaline. I've just had to change location, as you know, and as people can see, I'm pretty grainy because the Wi-Fi on this location isn't great. So I potentially just cut out.
No, I heard everything. Just the picture
Can you hear me?
slightly did. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. It just cut out for me a little bit. I hope this isn't going to be a Martin-driven car crash. We'll see what happens.
No, it'll be fine. So, do you want to tell everyone who you are and what you do in the industry, the pest management industry? I know you've got a long list of accolades.
Well, no, what? My name's Martin Cobbold. I muddled my way through pest control, and we have an amazing business here in Suffolk, which is all based around the success of the technician and everybody developing as incredible people. We've got 30 people on the payroll now. It's pretty good times. It's pretty high octane. Everybody's enjoying themselves, and we've got some good high morale. I started in pest control because it's what my dad did. I'm at my dad's house at the moment, which is why there's so much weird stuff about here. There's a gin trap just there. If you hadn't recognised that, the rest of it is all milling equipment.
It's
gin
not
traps.
torture chamber then.
Yeah. It's got that vague feel about it, which is probably why I like this room so much. I don't know. I don't do that in my pastimes. Don't get the wrong impression. I started after doing a very very relevant degree in art history, which gave me full Ponce credentials, and now I run a pest control business. Doing for the last 20 years or so it's been really good fun, really good one.
That's good to hear. That is.
Did you catch any of that?
Yeah, I catched all of it apart from the last second. Probably it said you got was it a maths and science degree, art and science degree, then you run a pest control company.
You got it. Yeah.
That's it.
Which it cultured me.
Yeah.
Still do a fair amount of poncing about, but it's all within the pest control world now.
Oh, nice. Thanks, Jason, for popping in, mate. Cheers for that. How did you start Dealey Environmental? Was it?
I didn't. My dad did.
Your dad?
Yeah. Well, no, my dad didn't either. It was started by a guy called Dr. Dealey. That's why it's called Dealey Environmental. Dr. Dealey was an absolute bonkers dude. He came out of the Second World War having been a submariner, and joined ICI to make pesticides as an entomologist. He got his entomology doctorate before the war, and then after the war he got his second entomology doctorate. So he was a pretty switched on guy. Knew an awful lot about stored product insects, knew an awful lot about post-harvest loss. My dad was a farmer initially when he first met Dealey, and then he was a grain trader eventually when he last met Dealey, and Dealey was selling his business and said how about it, which was pretty cool. Dad ran it for probably the same length of time as I've been running it now, with just him and one other dude. And then when I took it on, it was me and a self-employed dude called Bernard, who taught me an awful lot. It was remarkable the sort of high-level sites we did, even though we were just two people. And I really got a taste for the complexity of it. It's not been a not been an easy ride to grow it. Started off at a pace, doing as many sales as I could, and ended up. Bernard retired. Well, retire, you're self-employed, so he didn't really retire, but you know what I mean. He said no more. Thank you very much. And I grew it to the point where I could employ 2 people. Turns out that running a business, you actually have to learn how to run a business. Who knew? And so in layman's terms, Shaun, I fucked it up. I was a bad boss. Yeah. So it bewildered me that people didn't think in the same way as me. It bewildered me that people didn't do the same level of work. And you know, I was in my early 20s, and I just sucked at being a boss. Just didn't understand people at all.
It's probably because obviously, if you're running a business, the people working for you don't think like you. So they're not going to think, I'm going to keep working. It's a work day.
And these are just people that I knew, people from the village. You know what I mean? It's Suffolk. A lot of people, you know, a lot of people, because you know, it's a small community. And yeah, it's just people that I knew come and work for me. It'll be great. We'll have a great time. Yeah, turns out that if I used to lose my temper a lot as well. Like I found the stress completely unmanageable. And I didn't know it was unmanageable. I just thought, oh, this is stressful. I'm the boss. I can do some effing and jeffing and put people in their place. No, what an idiot. So those two left, and I thought, well, I better start getting serious about learning how to be a boss, how to run a business properly, and that since then has been the most rewarding journey you can imagine. It's been horrible. It's been painful. And I didn't make as much money between 0 and 7 employees than I did when I first started. So it was very much a delayed gratification type thing. But yeah, now I'm sort of getting to grips with it, leveling up a little bit. Going beyond 27 employees is another level. So that's everything breaks at 27, as they say. And everything broke, and we're starting again with 30, which is kind of cool.
I like the level of honesty. You're like, I fucked up. You know, I've learned along the way, because a lot of people, when they say that, a lot of people generally won't say, "Oh, I messed up on the way up. I did this, I did that." But you're completely, you know, it's a learning process, isn't it? Obviously, how you've scaled up.
You
know how what I'm saying is, in business, a lot of people will sugarcoat it and won't mention, I made these mistakes, I did that, I was a bit crap at the start. They like the story. It's all amazing. It is.
No, and it never is. And it's all lies. And that feeds into that horrible thing where people want the view, but they don't want to climb up the mountain. Do you know what I mean? And so that just all that does is feed into envy. I'm here to say it's actually horrible. I had a great quote last year from a guy called Alex Hormozy, who is
I watch his stuff. Yeah.
Obviously on steroids, right? So he's this big, bulky man with a big beard and huge hair, and he says something along the lines of, "The most successful people in business aren't the ones who do the best in business. They're the most successful people in business are the ones that can put up with pain for the longest." And I found that quite reassuring.
Well, the man's got a $250 million revenue portfolio per year. He's doing all right, isn't he?
Yeah, you got to listen to him. So you got to put up with that discomfort if you're going to grow. But bringing it back to pest control, you've got 2 kinds of pest controllers in my eyes. You've got the chest puffers, and there are a lot. I nicked that phrase from Ange, who lives very close to you. She's a fantastic fumigator in the Midlands.
You're on about Angela.
Angela, that runs the
Where
Midlands
are you, Angela?
You should have her on.
It said on LinkedIn she was watching. But where are you? Say hello if you're there.
No, you should have her on, because she talks so well. Like, she's absolutely fantastic person, just a great human being. Right, and sounds funny, like yourself.
I'll now have to get her on. I'll say, well, Martin said you can come on. There you go.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, she called them chest puffers, and I was like, oh, I know exactly what you mean. And it's people who are just tremendously proud and tremendously ego driven, and no one's ever been better than me. Chest puff, chest puff. And then you get the other kind of pest controller who realizes that pests can embarrass you horrendously from doing something completely unexpected, and it makes you look like a bona fide tit. And it's that's just part of the job. It's just part of the journey. You can never have like 100% certainty, because you're setting yourself up for a fall. And at that point, you either grow a bit of humility or you turn into a chest puffer and start blaming everyone else. So I think you've got to be honest, and you've got to say like, I can be awful sometimes. I can have some really bad ideas, but we'll reset, we'll learn, we'll go for it.
It's good. It's good. It's good to hear. It is, because obviously they all say it was amazing from start to finish, and it's good. It's good to hear that you're realistic and you actually tell the story.
So are you? I'm not on social media anymore, but I loved your feed because it was very honest and it was very real, and it had pictures of you just being to the gym, want to lose a load of weight, and it was you sweating through a t-shirt, and it was just like, I like this guy. This guy knows what it's about and knows what self-improvement is all about. Let's roll with this guy. So I was delighted to meet you at PestX, I have to say.
Oh yeah, because I was like, I think I just finished looking around or whatever. I came out, and
you nearly walked past me.
Straight up. I was looking. I was like, he came straight up to me, shook me hand. You're right, Shaun. Bearing in mind we'd never spoke, before. I was like, I felt like a bloody celebrity. I was like,
yeah, mate. No, it's coming close, isn't it? Not everyone has a podcast.
Well, no, but I do it to help the industry. It's like a lot of the stuff that's said is from other people, but if someone could learn a little bit, it helps, doesn't it? At the end of the day, podcasts it's massively changed. It's obviously the Beauties and Beasties that are weekly. You've also been on that before.
I've been on that. I co-hosted it once. They asked me. This is classic. They asked me with like 2 hours to go. Can you co-host this? All right. I was distinctly underprepared. But it was.
But there's other podcasts. I think Kill Germ's got one and other ones. But I'm on about the ones that are live and weekly. There's only 2 in the UK that are like that.
No one really listens to corporate podcasts anyway, do they? I mean, like maybe I've listened to a BBC podcast. Yeah, I used to, like, back when podcasts were young, I listened to Melvin Bragg. What the hell is that program called? In Our Time. But other than that, do people really listen to corporate podcasts? I don't know.
I've no idea. But this podcast does all right. Beauties and Beasties does as far as I know. 6,000 something downloads in or plays this has got. That's not every episode. That's like overall, but it's not bad.
78 episodes, dude. That's consistency. That's awesome.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
I like it.
I have missed a couple of weeks here and there, but it happens. It does.
Have you ever gone back and watched the first few that you've done?
I need to, really, because I can watch myself now. I'm used to my voice, but when a lot of people can't listen to themselves, they can't. But my podcast ain't as. I didn't start off because I think Sean Mooney said it once on the podcast. He says, "I bloody wish." He says the way Sean Muller started his podcast off, I wish ours was as good as theirs, because they started on Facebook Live, didn't they? And it used to go wrong a lot, and they didn't have all this. So he says, "I bloody wish we could have done that." He does, and then he said, "Don't go back and look at the old ones." It was like, but everyone does. If you say that, some of my old episodes, number 2 is nearly one of the highest ranked podcasts. It literally numbers are massive on the old stuff too. They are, because it's all learning.
Who was it? Who was your guest on too?
That was Kieran Buse from Green Rock Pest Control. That was.
Okay.
I've also had Mark Porter from Porter's Pest Control. That was a popular one. I don't know if you know of him or know him.
I've seen some bedbug videos. He's the bedbug guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
does
there you go.
bed bugs as well. Yeah, he does.
Oh, sorry. Did I just pigeonhole Mark? Sorry, Mark, if you're listening, watching.
No, his viral content has all been bed bugs.
Right.
He has gone viral with bed bugs, to be fair. But no, Terry Ashley. Hello, Terry.
Hello, Terry.
So right, obviously I wanted to talk about fumigation. I know nothing about it. Obviously, I do know that the thing I know is the fact that to actually be qualified, this was probably wrong, you'll tell me I'm wrong, but it takes a lot of persistence. You've got to do qualification. You've got to spend time under the watch of people and have stuff signed off over a long period. So I can imagine that a lot of people get fed up and quit in the end, and I bet you have a lot of that, do you?
We've had some people.
Do you want to explain how it works to get qualified in fumigation? Because it's not like pest control; it's a lot harder. It is.
You want to start with the qualifications? Is that where we're going? All right. So you do your theory, which is unit. The whole thing is a level 3 qualification. So the level 3. Sorry, I turned into Jonathan Ross just for a second. The level 3 qualification just means you do a bit of coursework. Okay, so it's very much like a driving test. As you do your theory and then you do your practical, and the practical bit is the coursework bit. So it starts off with an exam. Exam's quite difficult. It's a 3-hour affair, but if you take one of the amazing BPCA courses, then it stands you in really good stead. We put people through that quite regularly now, which is quite nice. I can't think that we've had a failure on that first bit. We've had failures on the second bit, and that's where it steps up a little bit. You have your coursework, and because we're a bloody wonderful company, I've just taken the coursework out of the hands of people that don't like being in front of a computer. They don't like doing written down, this is what I mean type stuff. We're working it all through our mobile workforce management system now, that I won't mention because of your sponsor. You can mention so that
mention other softwares you can.
Okay. We use Big Change, so we work it all through Big Change now. So I've set up a load of worksheets that basically creates them a portfolio, and it's got place to take pictures and signing off from your mentor and all of that sort of stuff. I'm having a fight at the moment with my managing director. She reckons we can get people through the whole shebang in 6 weeks. And she's the operationalizer, where of a it's quite dangerous.
Has she done it in 6 weeks? Have you asked her to do it in 6 weeks yet? You want to say you prove
That's
it?
a good idea. That's a good idea. All right, let's see if you can do it in 6 weeks. Yeah, she'd do it in 2. She's exactly the same as me. If you give someone an expectation, it's like, fuck you, I'm going to smash this. Just do it out of spite.
He's swearing tomorrow. Shaun, why did he say that?
Oh, sorry. So your coursework part is just that you're just making a record of the things that you've done, but it's quite prescriptive in what sort of things you have to prove. And then after you've got your portfolio done, that gets marked, and then the examiner comes to your place of work, portfolio in hand, and let's talk through it. And then you have a sit down oral exam that you're not meant to call oral exams now because of the sexual implications. I'm sure they call them something else. It's called like an in vivo or something like that. And when a viva, I can't remember, but it has a new name. Yeah, just like you're not meant to say turkey, it has to be written turkey. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I imagine though a lot of that is to go through it, so it's like, they can tell you've done the work and someone's not wrote it out for you.
Yeah, and I used to be an examiner, and there were a few of those. There was
Okay.
definitely one where his dad had just done everything, and when we did the exam online, and we were doing it face to face like you and me are doing now.
Yeah.
And I had his portfolio in hand, and his dad was there while he was doing it. I was like, "We can't do this. We can't. Just get out, dude. Get out."
Yeah.
He was probably talking in his ear.
Okay.
So yeah, it's pretty tricky to get into. I think 6 months. Stephanie thinks 6 weeks. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle.
Just
Yeah,
goals. Big
it's all good.
time.
Yeah, I like it.
You make the headlines for that. Our training process is 6 weeks.
Yeah. So what is fumigation? Should we talk about that? There might be some people listening going, "What?"
Yeah, see, I hear it a lot, right? I don't know if you've ever heard this term. Someone's going to one-shot a loft, right? I'm not saying everyone does it, but I hear it a lot. The old boys. I fumigate your loft. It's literally just the fogger shot.
Yeah.
And I hear a lot of the old boys say fumigation. It's not fumigation, is it?
No.
It's just a ULB fogger. That's it.
Well, how nerdy do you want to get? Because basically with fumigants, you're getting inside insects. It's that the particles are that small. You're working on a molecular level. So you get inside insects, whereas with everything else, you get on the outside. And all of the killing is done outwards in rather than inwards out. So yeah, fumigation is using gases, and it's getting things to soak in gas. So you got to make sure that your gas doesn't go anywhere. You got to make sure that you've sealed it in somehow, however that looks. And so the greatest visual, something that everyone recognizes is when they tent over houses for termites in America. They've got the gas in there and they're making sure it stays there. So they've got a big old propylene tent over the top of it. So that's fumigation, and you can do any kind of container that you can sheet over or make gas tight in some way. It's perfectly possible to fill that thing with gas and kill everything inside.
Okay. So if termites ever come here, your firm would be well set up to do it.
We got an inquiry. We got an inquiry last month for termites. Yeah, it was so cool. It was so much fun. It was a really local pest control company. Really nice guy called Nigel, and he said, "I've got this customer, and they import wood products, and they've imported a load of termites. What are we going to do?" It was awesome, and we went through so many different avenues of control, and then worked out a way with him that he could just do it himself. It wasn't even fumigation in the end. And so it was just one of those stories, which was like we networked. We did it through the BPCA networking tools. We met up, came up with an incredible, really cheap, really effective solution for the customer, and it was a win-win-win-win type thing. The only win we got out of it, made no money. It was just I met a nice person and had a lot of fun.
That's good. That's good. That is, because it's because about at first you were like, nah, it ain't termites, First,
no, because you get all sorts of cool things being imported. We had a pet scorpion in the office for a long time because we'd been asked to fumigate a shipping container that had come in, and no one was quite sure where it had come from, because they started unloading it, and it was like, okay, so what was the origin country? And they're like, oh, we don't know. It could be Greece, it could be Egypt, it could be somewhere else entirely. So we weren't sure what kind of scorpions we were looking for, but the pest techs turned up. Bob from Belpa is another wonderful technician. He turned up and started unloading this container and pulled out the sum total of one scorpion, and looked at it, and it was so beautiful that he thought, I can't kill this. And so he put it in a sandwich container, brought it back to the office, and we kept it in a lovely vivarium, and we weren't quite sure what sort of scorpion it was, so it had like half wet, half dry in the vivarium. It's called Bernard, and it's alive and well, living at one of our falconers' houses because she loves scorpions. And I get these cool videos of her shining a UV torch on it. Have you ever seen scorpions in UV? They like glow bright turquoise. It's really, really cool.
I've seen something on America where they go with torches and they find
Yeah,
scorpions. They run.
yeah,
I've
in
seen
Arizona.
videos. I've seen
Yeah,
videos. I have.
it's wonderful. Those places in the desert, the Nevada desert, where you you pull over on a lay-by and they've got big signs up every 2 foot, because they're Americans and everyone's a little bit self-important there. Every 2 foot there's a sign that says, "Don't go any further than this point. There are scorpions right here." And
Yeah.
you just think this is so cool. And so yeah, people do go out in Wellington boots and shine UV torches, and wherever it glows, they're like, "Oh, scorpions there," and they go and have a look.
They do. It's I see videos online. That's all I have. So what do you now? Obviously, fumigation. There's a big area of pests you can do. Do you do? No, right. Obviously, bed bugs. However, what do you ever get jobs? Because I know you do aeroplanes as well.
Yeah.
Do you get bed bugs on aeroplanes?
Yeah.
Do you do the job? Do you fumigate planes for bed bugs at sometimes?
Yeah.
You do. Okay.
Same problems as everyone else. Bed bugs are
Yeah.
getting really hardcore now. So
Yeah.
when we do bed bugs, we actually double dose compared to a lot of the other insects on aeroplanes. And this is using hydrogen cyanide, so it's not a gas to mess about with, and you don't go, oh, let's double the dose just like that. It's some serious considerations gone into it, and it gets raised dosage and lengthened time. If we get really geeky, I can tell you about Haber's rule, which is part of fumigation, but people would probably turn off extremely quickly. And yeah, the first bed bugs job that I saw on an aeroplane was on, I can't say the name, but it was on a large Boeing, and it was in first class, quite pleasingly. And yeah, they'd stripped the seat off completely and just wrapped it up in cellophane to stop anyone sitting there. But before that, no doubt there were some snoozing first class passengers being eaten to death as they digested their lobster and champagne.
I would have thought so, but the thing that made me think there is because obviously there's no resistance to normal insecticides you spray, but you're using freaking gases. You shouldn't have to go harder, should you?
Yeah. So
really?
There are resistance mechanisms for all gases now, even carbon dioxide, which is a physical gas.
Okay.
So yeah, it's because it's same as anything else. You're adding selection pressure into a population, and you're killing all of the ones that die. That if it makes any sense. Got that kind of the wrong way around. The ones that survive will breed, and so it's the same selection pressure as anywhere else in evolution, and we're just speeding it up, pressing fast forward. It's all good.
So when you do obviously aeroplanes, does the air company actually hand the rights over to you for that time period?
That's never been discussed. No, we don't own that aeroplane. We're responsible for it.
I don't mean over. Just mean for X amount of hours it's been released for you to do this.
Yes, and then we have to release it back to them. There's 2 handovers. Yeah.
Do you tent it? No. Yeah.
No. Well, believe it or not, aeroplanes are gas tight.
Oh yes, sorry. Yes, they are. Yeah. They are.
Sorry, it's so you don't get sucked out of the windows, which apparently is happening more and more these days. On EasyJet, somebody just got sucked out of the window, if I'm right. I heard that from a family member since we were drinking.
Somebody apparently opened the door mid-flight.
Oh, okay.
I might be wrong on that as well. I might be wrong.
That's not advised.
No, it's not.
Yeah, one of the first inquiries that we got for aeroplanes was a military one, and they said they'd had a history of rats on board their aircraft. Rats get on the aircraft as you'd expect; they just go up the wheels. It's just bad pest control in whatever airport, whatever hangar they're in. They said that their solution previously to get this rat off of their aeroplane was to go as high as possible and open the cargo doors.
Oh, okay.
So pilot was strapped in. Everything's fine. Just open the doors, lads. And but there was no more rat. Whether it was from decompression or whether it just flew out, I have absolutely no idea. But they said they wouldn't do it again because it was a fairly risky business. So
yeah, it would have been. It would have
prefer
been.
a bit of gassing.
So when you've obviously gassed the aeroplane, how long are you looking at before it's safe for people to actually go back on and have flights, etc.? You have to like.
Do we mean safe legally, or do we mean safe for us? Because we've got higher standards than what the legal limit is. To get it down to the legal limit, you're talking like 4 hours. It's really quick. Yeah, but we tend to sit with them for like 12. I don't tell many people about the 4-hour thing. We're talking in amongst pest controllers here. I'd never put that in any marketing material or anything like that. But yeah, you can get it to degas really quickly. The problem that you have is some absorption. So you get the gases are quite sticky and they stick to things like fabrics. So you get a lot of gas coming out of carpets and cushions and all that sort of stuff for a while after the fumigation is actually finished. And then you get it down to that legal limit, and then you go a little bit past that. And yeah, we get to zero near as damn it before we hand it back.
Okay, no, I just thought I'd ask because it's interesting. It is.
Yeah, it's 12 hours, something like that is normally beginning to end of aircraft fumigation.
Okay, so I imagine when you give fumigations, I'd imagine you do a lot of mills. Because Angela did mention something when she on WhatsApp to saying you were on.
Yeah,
I can't remember where she said it was. Obviously, you can't mention names, but there was a really successful program you done recently at a mill. You did work really well. And was that big one you completely tent up completely?
Again, no, we don't use tents at all. So if you've got if you've got a building like
your website has got a tent on it on one of the buildings.
Whereabouts?
Wait a minute, I'm
Go
sure.
on, you have a look.
Dealey Environmental. I'm sure I've seen it on there. I might be wrong. Wait, fumigation.
You tell me where you're looking, I'll tell you what it is.
It's not. I've seen. Must be someone else then. Find out more. No, I've got it wrong. Sorry.
I know.
It wasn't you then.
Ours is so much less visually striking, unfortunately. I'd love a big circus tent, but no, it's not something we really have called for. Go on,
You've got a blog. But why blue foam works when other pest control treatments fail? It's a blog, and there's an entire building been tented over.
Show me. Someone's gonna be in trouble.
Hold on, where are we? Let's see.
Show me.
Right. Tent. Share screen.
Hey, that's a chicken shed. That's not a tent.
Oh, you've seen it. What is it then?
That's sheeting. That is just polythene sheeting. It's not a tent.
Oh,
so
sorry.
can you see where those weights are? Can you see where those weights are along the joints?
Oh yeah.
So it's just strips of sheeting.
Look how stupid I am. Sorry. There we go.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. So yeah, those red things are sand snakes. It's a chicken shed, so it's not particularly tall, and that'll be done for red poultry mite. Red poultry mite are cool. Do you want to talk about them?
Yeah, you can do.
Yeah. Do you keep chickens?
No.
So yeah, anyone who has chickens, they end up with red poultry mite at some point. But yeah, absolute brutes. They get stuck into all of the cracks and the crevices, and they suck the blood out of chickens' legs, which is rather delightful. And yeah, like a lot of mite, they go hypopal, which is that kind of short circuit to the life cycle, where they've got like a sort of a proactive pupal stage. And some of these mite species are absolutely incredible, the way that they react to adverse conditions. So mites are older than dinosaurs, right? And they've outlasted ice ages, they've outlasted huge droughts, all of that sort of stuff. And because mite are mostly water, you squish them and they burst like a gross blister. To be able to survive through these adverse periods, if there's a massive drought, they just go to sleep, and they call that hypopus. But the cool thing is this is another resistance story. Is it doesn't have to be lack of water that makes them go hypopal. It can be adding a pyrethroid or something like that, and they go, oh, don't like this, and then turn into this sort of weird pupa. And once all of the pyrethroid has gone after the 6 weeks, the manufacturers claim and no one believes, then they'll come back out again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that obviously, obviously the manufacturers and obviously the experts don't exactly agree then.
So it's how it, well, if you were running a chemicals company, and you wanted this chemical to be really good because you've really spent loads of money in researching it and releasing it, you're going to ask them to test it more than once, right? And if you test it 12 times, you're going to come out with the best test results. It's just, it's human nature. You're not going to go, well, on average, it's actually 4 weeks. You'll just go, 6 weeks. This test works for 6 weeks, so it is technically feasibly 6 weeks. And anyone would do that. So and as long as it does the job, who gives a toss? Just as long as you're not hanging your technical reputation on this is going to work for 6 weeks, because we all know that other things get involved with UV light and temperature and humidity and all of these things in breaking down the whatever active you're using. So don't hang your hat on 6 weeks just because it says it on the label. I'll probably
label is law.
And not that bit.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, exactly.
One of the cool things that I've been getting into is doing degree day calculations. Have you ever seen these?
No. Lots
of fun when you get into insects. So if you're using insecticides, then you can get any old research paper. So we're old school, and we've got an old Excel spreadsheet now. But if I was starting this again, then I would start with ChatGPT or Claude or Deep Search or whatever, and I would go, what are the degree days above a certain threshold for this insect? And you can get this sort of idea of when the eggs that are laid today, when they're going to hatch out. So if you've got something that is a nerve agent, like any of our sprays, you're not going to be killing any eggs, because you haven't got much of a nervous system to have a go at there. You're only going to be killing the larvae and the adults, right? So the cool thing to do there is to say, all right, we're going to get the adults and the larvae now, and then we'll come back and do another treatment, which is second money. That's good for business, but it's also good for the customer, because you know that the eggs that you've missed with your residual, you're going to go back and actually deal with the eggs that are then hatching out, and it's all defined by temperature. So you have this incredible sliding scale of development days, and that's why it's called a degree day formulation. And this is why when you look at some of the insect fact cards, you get unbelievable variation in life cycles. So you get something like an Indian meal moth, and it says, well, this can develop between 6 weeks and 52 weeks, and you're like, where has this come from? And that's all to do with the temperature.
That won't be very good in an exam. What would you put?
There's going to be a right answer there. I'm taking something that's particularly extreme.
Oh, I know.
They'll be doing everything at room temperature and pressure, I'm sure.
Yeah. No, you're right there. With obviously, one thing that I have heard a lot about is not your company. I'm on about in general in the world of fumigation. There's been a lot of deaths in fumigation, with people actually in the grain stores when they're doing it, walking on grain and dying due to getting sucked in or something? Does that happen? Is that why safety is paramount in fumigation? Obviously.
Yeah. So we lose about 2 a month doing that. It's not a laughing matter, Shaun. So this is people. It's familiarity breeds contempt. It's never a truer word was spoken, and this is why you always need your I'm a nose 5 steps to risk assessment. You always need that step 5, the review bit, because you've got to continually update these things. You've got to have somebody have a fresh pair of eyes on it and all that sort of thing. So the people dying, getting sucked into grain bins, it doesn't tend to be fumigators. I've not heard of a fumigator dying that way. But I've heard of a lot of farmers dying that way, like far too many. Young, old, doesn't matter. But the one most recently that I can think of was only just a few miles down the road, and he was in his 70s going into a grain bin while it was being emptied. And you think, dude, you should know better. And it's sad, it's a tragedy, but don't go into a grain bin when your machinery's moving. You just the way the grain silos empty is they go from the top down, right? So it's like an hourglass. You can see the grains of sand going down first, that are at the top, and a grain bin is no different. You start pulling it out the bottom, and it sort of folds in on itself and empties out, and of course that makes like a quicksand type funnel, and it sucks. And it's not the it's not the actual being buried alive suffocation type thing that gets you. It's the actual pressure of the grain on your chest that you can't draw breath. Because there was a guy in Norfolk maybe 8-9 years ago who got sucked into a grain bin, and they started to dig him out. They started to panic. He kept going down and he kept going down. They ended up giving him a hose pipe so that he could breathe through it. Last thing to go was his hand, and he was doing the old Terminator, I'm okay. And he just stopped breathing after that. So even though he had a hose pipe to breathe through. So it sucks. But where most of the accidents happen with actual fumigation is in shipping. Things get a little bit loosey-goosey when you get into international waters. And this, to my knowledge, hasn't happened going from the UK, but we've had a few coming to the UK where the fumigation has been done in a less strict country, and they've had sailors being killed on the way over.
Do you do any ships? Do you do work like that as well?
We've stopped doing ships. We stopped doing ships maybe 6 years ago, something like that.
Okay.
Because it's so bloody stressful.
I can imagine the red tape would be unreal, wouldn't it? It really would be.
No. It's so loose. It's unbelievable. So you got 16 pages of handover documents to do, and they're really detailed and they're really good. And they've got instructions for, this is the fumigant, this is how to handle a problem, this is here's your safety gear, here's your measurement gear, and there's training in the safety gear, there's training in the measurement gear. But as well as I do, Shaun, what it actually is somebody going, next page, rubber stamp, next page, rubber stamp. No one actually reads it. You've got generally, and this is broad stereotypes, an angry Russian captain, an angry Russian mate who smells of booze, and then you've got a load of Filipino guys who do all the work. and it certainly comes across like they're not being treated quite as well as they should be. So we've got massive respect for the people that do ships, because they've got as soon as you walk onto that ship, you're obviously you're off England. You're then in the country that the ship's flag is flying. You're dealing with people of all different nationalities, and you've got to somehow get them to be safe. And then you're doing a fumigation which is 4 foot maybe from somebody's head while they're sleeping. So the guys that do ship fumigation, hats off to them. But for us, it was operationally stressful, because ships are kind of we've got a big job for you and we want you here tomorrow. We want it, and we want you to do it cheap. So for us, strategically, not for us.
No, definitely not. No. Because obviously that's a business decision you made not to do no more. Obviously, it's obviously it sounds to me like it was too much hassle for not enough money, basically.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you tended to have ones that made not enough money, and then ones that went perfectly, and they were bloody wonderful, and you made a good margin on them.
Yeah.
But the mixed bag was too mixed for me, and the juice wasn't worth the squeeze just on the amount of stress that it put on the ops team. So we've got all of this work to do. We've got the week filled, and then all of a sudden, for 2 people, the whole week is thrown out because you've got one ship to do. And they come in big tonnages. It's like 20,000 tons, 40,000 tons, and it feels good when you're doing it. But it's a long time away from home, and it's operationally just not for us. The team at the moment are very interested in us starting to do ships again, and I'm a little resistant, but because it is so stressful. But yeah, there's quite a lot of interest, and no doubt we'll be doing it again next time we meet, Shaun. But
is Angela one of these people asking to do a ship then?
I don't think so. No, I've not had that chat with her.
It's a joke.
No, it tends to be the young bucks.
Does it?
Yes. And they just want big machines and big jobs and lots of cool experiences. So some of these ships that have been done in the past, they've had the fumigator go with them, and they're off to Puerto Rico or something like that. And some of them you have to get on when they're at mouse anchor, so you have to go out in a little speedboat, and then you have to get on via a rope ladder. So it's kind of an adventure. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's probably why the young ones want it. Yeah, that's probably slim. No, not for me. No, thank
not
you.
Me. Not me.
So do you ever, I'd say, because obviously you're the CEO, do you ever get hands on and do any jobs anymore?
Yeah. Which was lovely, to be honest. I had such a nice vision when I was smacking a container door with a sledgehammer, and we had a health and safety rep turn up, and he was the health and safety manager for one of our, and I'd never met him, and one of the techs, Russell, spoke to him, and he said, "Oh yeah, this is Martin, he's CEO." And I turned around covered in shit and with a sledgehammer in my hands, like, "This is what a CEO looks like." And Russell, God bless him, said, "This is a CEO that doesn't mind getting his hands dirty." And I was really touched by that, because I felt like a little bit embarrassed that I was like a fake CEO. It does still call for it every so often that I get out and join in with the lads. We had quite a staffing shortage and too much work at the end of last year, and I hit the road for maybe like 4 months, something like that, and it was cool. I being a productivity wiener, I redid my morning routine to fit my my on the road life as opposed to my going to the office life. So
with that though, did a lot of customers know who you were, or did you just pretend you were a normal worker? You were like,
it was a mix. It was a mix depending on the customer. So I turn up and like I've known them for 20 years or more. And you turn up, you have a laugh, and it's good times. But if they don't know me, I'm not going to turn up on site and take over. The techs, this is their relationship with this customer. I'm not going to get in the way of that.
No, you're right there. But it's good to hear that you will get hands on if you needed, which is good. It is.
Yeah. No, I mean it's the wrong thing to do for any business leader to get involved and start putting on the Superman pants, but every so often needs must. To
be fair, you've got that mentality where it's like you wouldn't ask anyone to do something you wouldn't do.
Yeah.
Like in
Yeah.
WWE when they used to say, whatever his name is, he would try anything, so they can. I can't remember what his name is. I can't.
Oh, right.
WWE, Vincent Mann.
That sounds dangerous. In a
Literally,
word.
he would literally try anything, and then he'd show them. Oh, look, there you go. I've done it. You can do it.
Is he still alive?
He is actually. He doesn't own
Okay.
WWE anymore. He sold it off.
Oh, did it? Oh, right. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not a wrestling man.
I watch it probably once a year. WrestleMania.
So yeah, I went out with the days of Macho Man Randy Savage. That's the last time I would have watched WWE. Yeah, and in those days there was WCW as well. And WWE was called WWF, which is now the World Wildlife Foundation, not wrestling.
They went to court, that all went to court, and
Yeah.
WWE fought them. And they obviously the wildlife people obviously won because they've been around longer.
Right.
They have.
Okay.
And they won it easily. They did.
They're so litigious, aren't they?
Yeah. But yeah, it's if someone was wanting to get into fumigation, how would you recommend they get into it? Say, obviously, if you want to work for somebody, is it much harder if you've got your own business to start doing fumigation? I imagine it. If you've not got, and with the qualifications, do you have to redo them every so many years, like a ticket?
No, lifetime things.
It's a lifetime thing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I just wondered that was all. Okay.
Yeah. That's so this used to be really, really dicey, and BPCA, God bless them, have really, really cleaned it up since last 10 years. 2016, I think it all changed. 2014 is when it started to change, because who the hell was it? CRD, I think, Chemicals Regulation Division, said, all right, let's look at your exams. All right, who audits these? And RSPH was like, well, I don't know. And and they had a load of exams that had to be post audited, and then like a little conversion refresher go on. But yeah, since then it's been pretty watertight as an examination goes. All right, sorry, to answer your question properly. So it can go two ways. It can be really easy, or you can do it yourself. So if I was starting again, I would network really well. I would get some customers interested, and I would look to employ somebody who's already qualified, and then I would do my portfolio with my employee. That would be the way I'd do it. If you're doing it solo, if you're an owner operator, and you don't want to employ anyone, well, for a start, you need a second pair of hands to do fumigations, but that's by the by. Then you would have to find a company willing to do your training, and you can do this several ways. I mean, whatever happens, that's going to be very, very time intensive. But you can pick up stuff abroad, or you can go and work with a company that's long enough way from you that you're not going to interfere with each other's business and all that sort of stuff. We've trained up at least 4 other pest controllers from other companies in fumigation, and it's I can't think of a time. Oh yeah, one it ended well, and the guy was a gentleman about it, and it was like, all right, we've both got our businesses and let's look after each other. The rest of the time has always gone really badly, so we probably won't do it again. It's something that I was always like, there's enough market for everybody, and we have no problems about losing customers or anything like that. But it turns out that some people just aren't up for going out and finding their own customers, and they're just much more interested in yours.
Yeah, that can happen. It can. There you go.
Have I lost you, Shaun?
I could hear you. Just that you froze for a minute. I could hear everything you said. You went into freeze mode. But no, some good advice there. Some good advice there on fumigation. It's not an area I would want to, but it's something I've never had anyone on the. Where's he gone? I said that. and
I'm still here.
There you go. There you go. I've never had anyone on the podcast to talk about fumigation because I'll be honest with you, not that many. In general, I don't think many. I don't know the stats, but I don't think many pest control firms in the UK do it. Do they? Not many.
No, last time I counted, which was probably 5 years ago, I think there were 17 companies that did it.
Wow, that's not a lot, is it?
No, it's not a lot.
It's what you call specialist.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's a lot. A company like yours, you're obviously invested in the long haul. It's a long-term project, isn't it? Because you've got to keep people. You've got to keep people that want to keep doing the job for you, fumigation, keep them interested, incentivized. But you've also got to get new people. And I imagine, do you have people that start it and then, I can't be asked for this no more? Do you get that a lot or not?
Yeah, it's hard on the body. It is hard on the body. I mean, for the first, let's say, 6 weeks of doing it, you know about it. Okay. It's, you're stiff in the morning and you hurt at night. It's you're using odd muscles doing weird stuff. Okay. So it's kind of like if you're a runner and then you go and run up some sand dunes, it's completely different set of muscles that you're using. So yeah, and there's some pretty gnarly environments that you work in, so it takes some toughness, and for people that don't want to work hard, it's a nightmare job, because you're in a team and you're being held accountable, so it can sometimes feel a little bit military, if you know what I mean.
It will be, but it's all safety, isn't it? Safety's paramount, isn't it? It is.
Yeah.
So, so I reckon that rounded up nicely. Have we missed anything to do with fumigation, you think?
To do with fumigation? Yeah.
I know there's tons, obviously. I just mean the brief version, obviously.
That is your whistle-stop introduction to fumigation. Yeah. Hopefully people know a little bit more about it now. But yeah, it's cool. I really love it, and you get to do weird stuff in weird places, much like a lot of pest control. But you get as much as you get out as much as you put in, same as anything in life. And we put in a lot. We're off to Hyderabad in March, which is going to be cool. And yeah, that's like the amount of travel for fumigation has been bonkers. So yeah, like last year I was in Serbia. I've got somebody trying to get us to go out to Finland. It doesn't tend to be, Bermuda. I went to Trinidad once. That was kind of cool. Spent a week out there doing fumigation stuff. But Trinidad and Tobago is 2 islands. Yeah. And Tobago is kind of the touristy nice bit, and then Trinidad is the heavy industry bit. And so I spent a week in hot sunshine in basically industrial wasteland. So wherever you go, it does tend to be you're following heavy industry around rather than going to somewhere nice and exotic.
Yeah. Now, I'll tell you one thing I forgot to mention. You mentioned in your email that there's some, within fumigation, some up and coming challenges ahead.
Yeah. So we've got the same challenges as pest controllers. I mean, we're deep in the pest control world as well. It's half our business. The thing that I like most about pest control is the consistency and the stability. There's an awful lot of work. There's no seasonality to it. Well, there is, but it's not as bad. And the resistance problems that the pest control are dealing with, it's amplified a lot in the fumigation world. So most of the stored product insects that we deal with come from subtropical areas and the subcontinent. And if you look at some of the fumigation practices in somewhere like India, they're not good. There's been I think something like 40 fumigation companies that were banned by the Australian authorities and that were from India, and that was just in the last year.
Sorry, reverse that. You just said India and Australia. I don't understand.
Okay. Oh, so as soon as you do fumigation, you're talking internationally. You're not doing the job internationally, but there's stuff being sent into the country full of bugs all the time.
Oh, right. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
Okay,
you'll
right.
get a shipment of something, let's say coriander, and it'll
Yeah.
be fumigated in India and sent over to England. Oh, it's still got bugs in it.
Oh,
Why has
see,
it still got
right.
bugs in it? Well, we're dealing with Indian bugs here, and they're highly, highly resistant to all kinds of
Oh,
insecticide, and highly resistant to phosphine gas, which is the main fumigant that we use in the UK.
yeah.
So yeah, you have to elevate your protocols. There's a lot of research out there now, where you have to get to certain levels for a certain period of time. You've got to make damn sure that those levels stay there to make sure that you've killed the most resistant life stage, which is the eggs. And yeah, that's where the international element comes in. Is you're always looking upstream in the supply chain.
Okay. Okay. No, that is interesting. That I was like, it's obviously it's on a global scale, then, isn't it?
It really
Really?
is, and yeah, you're cleaning up the mess that is left by other fumigators all around the world. In Australia, they got the most fantastic stories because we talk about qualifications. In Australia, you do 2 fumigations under supervision, and off you go. You're a fumigator.
That's
I
surprising
don't.
me for Australia because they're quite strict generally. They
They're
are.
very strict for quarantine going in and out, but not so much inland.
They banned glue balls. That they kind of banned glue balls before the UK did. Well, it's not banned, but it's licensed here. But they got rid of them first. They did. Australia.
Yeah. Well,
They
have they got a I
don't
won't go
even think they've got.
political.
Yeah.
Let's not do that. So the Australians have or had a wonderful practice of fumigating lorry trailers, which they called phosphine bombing. And if the way that commodities are traded, they're only checked once you've sold them, and if you can get all of the adults dead at that point that they're being checked, no one can find things like pupae and eggs. So long as you can kill all the adults, you're absolutely in clover. So these fumigators used to just throw a load of phosphine pellets, same as your phostoxin pellets, onto a trailer and just say to the driver, "Don't stop, mate." And they called it phosphine bombing, and it would be under gas for like maybe 4 or 5 hours. They're going, with these long Australian roads, and by the time it gets there, all of the adults are dead, and yeah, they check it. Yeah, no, it's fine. Bring it in, mate. So yeah, if you want something to create resistance, that's your perfect recipe. So yeah, you've got some incredibly resistant species all over the spot, and when you're trading commodities, everything is time sensitive, and so people are always wanting to like cut back the time, and because time is one of the essential ingredients in fumigation, the time pressure is there. Just can we release it now? Can we sell it now? Come on. And so yeah, if you haven't killed everything, all you've got is just those resistant eggs left over. So yeah, globally it's a massive problem. Conferences that I go to, it's all that people talk about from all around the world. What are we going to do about resistance management? And more is coming out now around remote monitoring of fumigations and all that sort of stuff. So same sort of solutions apply. And IPM pyramid type stuff, creating physical barriers rather than any kind of chemical control is that's the same as it is in pest control. It's the same solutions for the same problem. It's just magnified to such a degree because there's such bad practices internationally. And we haven't even got on to the other big issue, which is the demographic problem. Is everybody in pest control is getting so long in the tooth. Do you know what I mean?
They have. I mean, a lot of because like I think BPCA had a study where was it or study or survey that 50% of the industry is due to retire in the next 5 to 10 years. Is that right? Something like that.
Yep. Yeah. So and finding people that want to do the job is tricky. We're in the interzone right now because all of a sudden we'll have a lot of people to pick from. Do you have people talk about AI much on your show?
Yeah. You can talk about AI if you want to.
So
I use it.
I'm doing. I'm doing a Mystic Martin thing here, where AI is apparently going to replace a lot of jobs, and a lot of those jobs are going to be white collar jobs. It's going to be people like lawyers, people like accountants, those sorts of people. Terry, God bless you. God bless you. We should have a little competition. Who's been working here the longest? So yeah, it's something that a business associate of mine calls white to collar. There's going to be an awful lot of retraining going on, where people are looking for a job to replace their middle management office-based job, and they're going to want to retrain into something that is irreplaceable by something like pest control.
It's true, because they reckon
it's definitely an issue now.
They reckon that electricians are going to become one of the top jobs. They reckon as well. They do all the AI and electric and stuff, but there's a lot of electricians already. But you are right. Pest control could fill that gap for many people. Retraining, you're right. It can, because you'll always need pest control, won't you?
Yeah, that's a problem that's not going away, and that's why there's so much private equity money coming into the sector right now. There's the whole middle of the sector has been hollowed out by people coming in and buying everybody up. And I'm not a big fan of all that. I think it's bad. I do, but it's not for me to say. But that's my personal opinion. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not. But good or bad, it's the water that we swim in now, isn't it?
Exactly. Terry Ashley says he uses AI every day to write reports. So do I. I use it as well.
I'm having trouble with my connection here. I'm sorry about that.
Are you there? You're all right.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Yeah, no, Terry Ashley says he uses AI every day to write reports.
I'm here.
You there?
Sorry about that. Yeah.
Shall I say it again?
Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you fine. I can.
Fantastic. I can't see you particularly well, but I can hear you well. Yeah. So if I was an investor, and I've got I'm sitting on a lot of money, and I need somewhere that is AI proof and vaguely recession proof. Where am I going to put it? And we already saw veterinary surgery. It's taken over by PE. And everybody hates it, because now you go in and open your wallet. Basically, it feels like a bit of a cartel with insurance.
The vets
but they're making money, and now it's hard to find an independent vet.
I have one in Oakham. They're independent.
Going to have more
at the
pest
moment,
control, without any doubt.
But, exactly. But you are right there.
You've got an independent vet.
Yeah, independent vet. Yeah. No, they've only been open a year or two.
They're like gold dust, dude.
Well, we moved because the other one I found out were owned by a conglomerate, which I didn't realise. So it's kind of they've monopolised it. They've monopolised it. I think their price fix it too. So they're all basically nearly the same.
Yeah.
But
there's definitely some feel of that commercialization, that commoditization around it, which is sad, because it's your pets and you love your pets. But it feels like something very similar is going on in pest control, that you've got a lot of places that are sort of still branded as the company that they were when they were bought, but the private equity operator is operating them, and so you have that sort of independence look, but it's actually a much bigger machine that's sitting behind it, and so the customer choice certainly gets reduced somewhat. But what it does do is do some driving of the economics in our sector, which personally I'm a big fan of. Everybody can reduce prices and win the work, but what it's much more difficult to do is actually increase skill and then ask the price to come up and meet you, which if this private equity thing continues, that's the trend that it is taking. So personally I'm a fan of it. I know there's the downside of the lack of independence and stuff, but I find myself sitting on the other side of the fence to you, Mr. Muller.
You'll be like, you're just thinking in years to come, how much am I going to get from my company? So you're thinking one day I might do it. One day you're like, how much will I get? That's how you're thinking. Maybe.
No, that's not how I think. Jesus,
Yeah.
I'm thinking of what we can do over the next 5 years, and I've got a growing business. So
well, you have. Yeah, exactly.
the asset is growing quicker. So I think it would be foolish to get rid of it. I think with your independent vets, this is the same thing that's happening in pest control. Is you get a private equity machine touch the business and something up independent themselves. So there will always be that natural pushback that there's always that 10% of the market that is owner operator, you know.
That's true. That is. It's but it's easy to find out who's owned by who. Very easy. It is I look quite regular who is actually independent still. I do. And it's surprising a lot of firms that you think are independent and not. But have we lost connection? Hello? Right. Hello? Hello? He's frozen again. So, good conversation. Martin, are you there? Martin? So, if you haven't followed Pest Perspectives, please follow Pest Perspective on Spotify, subscribe on YouTube, and also, I'm sure we'll be back in a second, and follow on Facebook. We are sponsored by Powered Now, a job management software company. So after the show, there'll be a link for you to click in the description, which you can get a trial, or there's a deal there is you can get to try Powered Now out. Martin has dropped out. He's done incredibly well to last this long with the connection he's got. That's why I dropped my end down to a 720p. So if you notice that's what's happened. But it's been a great conversation about fumigation, and he seems like the kind of person we could have another chat with at some point. It does. I'll just wait to see if he comes back. I will. But yeah. So it's very different when you try and talk to yourself on a podcast. I don't know how these podcasts do it. That have podcasts by themselves. They do. So hang on. He says he's down there.
Oh, I'm coming back.
There we go.
It's come back, baby.
I just explained to everyone your connection ain't bad. It's that you've done very well to last that long with the connection. I've just done all my Powered Now things, follow the podcast and everything. I have. But no, thanks for coming on, Martin. I think it's been great.
You seem like somebody up with my appalling countryside internet connection. God bless you, Shaun. Thank you so much.
I'll have you back on talks about other stuff in the future if you're up for it. We'll have a chat about some other stuff if you want, because it seems that there's a lot you could talk about because you know your stuff. And,
no, I mean, you pick up bits and bobs in 20 years, and you know I've got 20 years more in me, so and I've always got an opinion. It's not always the right one, but we've been through that.
That's fair enough. That is. So right, I'm going to end the podcast there. If you just stay on the line for a minute. But thanks everyone.
Thank you, Shaun. Thank you everyone for sticking with me there.
Oh, and thanks everyone, and I'll see you next week. Hang on, end the stream, not leave studio. There we go. Thanks everyone.